In 2019, Naval went on this Joe Rogan podcast and he talked about this concept of working like a lion. And when I saw it, it challenged everything I thought I knew about working hard. Every piece of self-help you'll see online will tell you to work harder, to grind endlessly, to go without sleep. But what if I told you it was all a psyop? And countless successful people, consciously or unconsciously, work like a lion.
We like to think that we like to view the world as linear, which is I'm going to put in 8 hours of work, I'm going to get back 8 hours of output, right? It doesn't work that way. The guy running the corner grocery store is working just as hard or harder than you and me. How much output is he getting? Outputs are non-linear based on the quality of the work that you put in. The right way to work is like a lion, as an intellectual athlete. You want to function like an athlete, which means you train hard, then you sprint, then you rest, then you reassess, you get your feedback loop, then you train some more, then you sprint again, then you rest, then you reassess. This idea that you're going to have linear output just by cranking every day at the same amount of time, that's machines. You know, machines should be working 9 to 5. Humans are not meant to work 9 to 5.
So Naval essentially said that a lion on a savanna doesn't graze endlessly for its prey, but instead it works in short, intense periods and spends the rest of its day resting and reassessing. It doesn't chase the gazelle for hours on end, but it strategically places itself and preserves its energy for a period of intense hunting. And we can adopt this same idea and translate it over into our lives. It's about efficiency over quantity. We too should work in focused, intense bursts followed by conscious rest. We are a part of nature, but what sets us apart is our ego. It's our belief that we have a better way than nature to do things. We think that if we do more of the same, then we'll get higher outputs. But nature doesn't work this way, and nature is our biggest mirror, but we choose to not look into it. And in this video, I'm not going to just show you what working like a lion means and how it works, but also a simple 3-step framework on how you can implement this today, and I guarantee you your results in what you're doing are going to drastically change. So stick with me and I'll show you exactly how to implement that. But firstly, I want to let you know why the myth of hard work is something that has been told to us for years. I'm not saying that you don't have to work hard, but work hard and hard work that we see online are two completely different things. Oftentimes, working more becomes less efficient. We burn out faster and we don't give our minds enough time to rest and recover. And that's because we're not consciously designing our downtime. See, we fool ourselves with being busy to act as a hedge against the emptiness we would feel if we had nowhere to go and nothing to do. And this is what most founders and creators struggle with, is that period of doing nothing after they sell their business, after they hit the milestones. So it makes sense to get comfortable with it now and implement it into your life before those arrive. So the problem is hard work has become an identity instead of a process. It signals to others the type of person that you are. The 6-hour morning routines, the pictures by the beach working on the laptop, the Strava screenshots are all signals of who you want to be perceived as. A good question to reevaluate is, if there was no Instagram, then would you still do it? I know Ashton Hall will be fuming. And look, this isn't me judging, I've fallen for the psyop too. I thought working harder and endlessly grinding was an admirable trait, till I realized it's actually those who master their free time that actually make the most optimal work. And true progress doesn't come from hard work alone. So what do elite performers do to actually win? If success was solely down to how hard you worked, then nurses and doctors and janitors would be the highest paid people in the world, and deservedly so. But here's the thing about greatness. Greatness can't be reduced down into a formula and implemented by professionals, or else we would have 1,000 Michael Jordans, 1,000 Serena Williams, 1,000 Oprah Winfreys. So the key difference is they work like lions, but the trick is they do it consistently over a long period of time. My takeaway is deep work is far more important than hard work. And in just a moment, I'm going to reveal to you the exact steps that you can follow to unlock this deep work. Intense focus for smaller periods rather than scattered focus for longer periods. 1 hour of aligned and focused work compared to 8 hours of scattered work is light years apart. All gain in life comes from gathered consciousness. All loss in life comes from scattered consciousness. Meaning all your progress is going to come from intention and clarity, and all loss will come from aimlessness, mental fatigue, and indecision. So if you can commit yourself to a deep work block where you work like a lion for one part of a day, I can almost guarantee your success in what you're doing. And this is actually what working smarter looks like. It doesn't mean it's any less taxing or any less hard. But in your work and life, if you can carve out the time to do the things that bring you the most disproportionate amount of returns in exchange for the least amount of effort, you will win. What lever can you pull for an hour that will take you further than doing something else for 8 hours? For me, that is writing. Writing is the foundation of everything I do. It's my YouTube scripts, it's my posts, it's my newsletters. And so if I can commit to it daily and that's my period where I work like a lion, then I'm creating disproportionate returns. And the thing is, this requires strategic thinking. Henry Ford said that thinking is the hardest thing there is to do, and that's probably why so few people engage in it. See, working like a lion requires you to think. It requires you to be present and conscious. When you're in the hunt, nothing else matters. The lion isn't thinking about tomorrow's meal whilst in the pursuit of today's, and that's what we call flow state. Most people don't want to think, they want to be told what to do. The harsh truth is, working hard without clarity of where you're going will only result in burnout and aimlessness. It's like rowing the boat but not knowing where you're headed. So what I'm about to share now is going to reshape how you think about your free time and your conscious downtime. We were not designed to be looking at screens 8 hours a day, filling in numbers in Excel sheets. As humans, we're regularly meant to find flow states in our work through challenging tasks, but also in our productive free time. The periods where lions are resting is actually the most pivotal part of their work. You see, it's interconnected. We think it's different. We think our free time and our work are separate, but actually they're interconnected. They both affect each other. If you think of your mind as a computer and your inputs create your outputs, then it makes sense to examine the inputs that we're putting in now and how it is showing up in the rest of our life. See, in your free time, if you're just doom scrolling, gossiping and wasting away, how do you think that will affect you when you're in the hunt? It will likely create more mental fog, less clarity, whilst you're in action. But if you spend your free time in nature, building something productive, consciously consuming, this can only benefit you in the hunt. It can plant seeds in that time for it to flourish whilst you're in flow state. See, the gaps between your work need to be filled with stimulus that will help you grow. Basically, you need to be leisure maxing. Most activities that are designed for free time are there to turn you into a prisoner. They say unwind and relax, but apparently that just means turning into a consumption bot. And the knock-on effect of this is that you become passive in your work as well. You end up settling for good enough because the thought of great never entered your mind. And that's exactly where they want you. Isn't it easier to control a population of numb and passive beings than active, conscious co-creators? Designing, building, creating, serving, that's what you should be doing in your free time. And look, I'm no yogi. It's not like I don't doom scroll here and there and enjoy watching reels, but at least I'm consciously doing it. And that's the secret. Even in the activities that are designed to make you feel numb, you should do it consciously. So look, the reality is, in this world, you're not paid for how hard you work. You're paid for the amount of value that you create. Working like a lion is a method that is used by some of the world's greatest minds and history's greatest minds. Tim Ferriss wrote about this in the 4-Hour Work Week. Maya Angelou used to rent hotel rooms, work for 5 to 6 hours, and then rest and relax. So how do you practically do this, and how do you enter these states of deep work, like I said earlier? There's a simple 3-step formula that you can do, and it's so easy to follow. One is to identify your peak performance time. Where and when do you feel the most high energy throughout the day? And then assign that as your lion hours, the hours that you're in the hunt. For me, when I feel the most productive is typically between 7 and 11 a.m. Those are the hours I use for my sprints. 2 is to determine your value levers. Like I said, figure out what actions give you disproportionate returns. Ask yourself, what moves the needle in my business or in my career or in my health or my wealth? What task, if I repeated it daily during those sprint hours, would bring me the most returns? And what ripple effects would it create in the long term? Like I said, for me, it's writing, it's filming. For others, it might be strategy, it might be product design, it might be ads. Focus your lion hours on these things only. No admin, no emails, no fluff. And 3, the most important one, is design your rest like a ritual. Rest is not passive, but it's part of the process. How you recharge will determine the quality of your next hunt. Replace mindless consumption with conscious replenishment. Go for walks in nature, read powerful books and articles, move, train, exercise, sauna, sprint, have time for silence and reflection, enter states of play again, and just be present around the people that bring you energy. This is not about becoming a monk and being on all the time. It's about being intentional. Like I said, even a doom scroll can be conscious. These frameworks help me develop a level of deep work that I never accessed before, and therefore fast-track my path to mastery. See, everything in the universe follows a rhythm, and it's about you finding yours, tuning in with it and aligning with it. A rhythm is a melody, it's not forced, it's flow. An athlete trains hard, sprints, rests, then reassesses. Flow is about finding a pattern of intense, intentional work followed by intentional rest. And this is what will create quantum leaps in your life, in your business. So despite what you see online about working harder and grinding endlessly, the strategic, the 1% know how to move like a lion and preserve your energy for the moments that matter. Working like a lion isn't about working less, it's about dialing in when you're in the hunt and consciously resting in your downtime. And with that, you reclaim your focus and reclaim your energy. I saw a tweet the other day that said that you should spend a handful of your day in deep work. going fast, you should crush a gym session, do deep work on a project you care about, and then spend the rest of the day going slow. Take walks, read books, have dinner with friends. Either way, avoid the anxious middle, where you never truly relax or you never truly move forward. So step back and ask yourself, am I grazing or am I hunting? FYI, if you are a founder or creator looking to break through to the next level of your business or your life, then click the first link in the description below. It is my 8-step free self-mastery guide, and in there I'm going to show you exactly frameworks like this I've just laid out in this video that you can use and implement into your life today. That is going to transform how you think about your energy, how you think about your mastery. It's completely for free, and then inside I'm going to invite you to work with me if you feel like it's a right fit, and if I have spots open. But aside from that, subscribe to this channel for more, and subscribe to my main channel over where my show is, and I'll see you in the next one.